Let's do some ear training today. So today's exercise is going to be the hardest one yet, arguably, so just stay put. It's a multi-step one, but it's going to be awesome. So the idea is that we can play a chord, a seventh chord, and then we're going to be able to sing the 9 on top of that chord. So the 9 is coming from the second degree of the scale. So if you were to take the chord of C major 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we want to be able to generate that tone just hearing the major 7 like this. And you don't have to be a great singer, but it is nice to be able to hit that note in tune. So let's try another 7th chord. So if I played E flat major 7, again, I'm not playing the 9. You have to generate what the 9 sounds like in your head. 3, 2, 1, 9. And then you check your tuning. Let's try another one. So you can do this on top of minor 7 or dominant 7 as well, but we're just going to stick with major for now. So let's do B flat major 7. 9. Very nice. Let's do 2 more. Okay, let's do F major 7. 1. 3, 2, 1. 9. Last one. Let's do A major 7. 1, 2, 3, 9. So I always play it after to check if I was singing it in tune, and that's the way I would do it. So this is a harder ear training because number 1, you have to identify where the root is. Then you have to identify, okay, this is 1, 3, 5, 7. So let's take that last chord, right? 1, 3, 5, 7. So in my head, I know where those tones sit, but then I have to hear an additional tone that I'm not even playing on the keyboard, and that's where the 9 comes in. So you can do this with any type of extension. So extensions are any notes that sit on top of the original, like 1, 3, 5, 7. So for example, on a major 7 chord, the extension that's you can place is a 9. You can also do a sharp 11, or you can do a 13. So this is going to be a different video where I explain maybe what all the extensions are and the colors, but these are like the color tones of music. So typically you'll hear these color tones in more jazz music, but it could be subtly placed in classical music or pop music too. It's just pretty subtle, or soulful R&B, piano chords, that kind of thing. So if I take this A major 7, so I'm hearing there's the 9. Okay, so there I was a little sharp. So okay, now let's say I wanted to do the 13. So I need to place the root, which is do, and then in my head I need to think, okay, a 13 is the compound number of a 6. So in a scale, I'm actually wanting to hear that major 6. So it's like do, da. Technically it would be da, but you don't have to sing it that high. Do is fine. Now if you wanted to get it extra colorful, you could then try the sharp 11, which would be, so find your root first, do, nothing literally matters if you cannot identify where the root is. So do, and then you need to find the sharp 11. And then you can decide, this is what I tell my students, if you are ending a song on a major chord, for example, and you want something a little bit more colorful than just, that's nice, that's, you know, it works. There's nothing wrong with that, just straight up major. But firstly, you can put major 7, or sorry, just major 7. Right? Or you can add the 9 in the chord. Just adds like a little extra. Or if you want to get a little bit more colorful, I would say the 13 plus the 9. So you can add both together. Check it out. So this is the equivalent of adding the B, and the F sharp on top of the major 7. So there are some specific voicing things that I can show you in another video, but then that would be like a whole tutorial. So for now, I'm just gonna show you what the colors do. And then the last, arguably the most colorful tone is the sharp 11. So the sharp 11 would be something like this. If you wanted to end, do does the fundamental, but then you place it like way higher. So you can also combine the 9 sharp 11 and the 13 all together. You can literally place all of them together on an ending, and that would basically be playing a B major triad. So B, D sharp, F sharp. You can literally play B major triad over the A major 7 chord. So literally, if I just went A major 7, B major triad arpeggio, that kind of gives you that really colorful sound. You may not always like that specific order of the notes, so you can invert the chord. Like if you wanted to put the B note on the top specifically, then you could play first inversion over A major 7, right? Or you could play the sharp 11 on top, so you can invert the B major to second inversion, which would be F sharp, B, and D sharp, like this. So it's all about personal preference, right? If you're hearing a chord tone and you want a little extra color in there, firstly, you need to identify what that chord tone is that you're hearing, and then it helps to know how to use it in the context of the 7th chord. So this is only talking about major 7. So major 7 is a really beautiful chord. If you have any doubt about if I want to end on the major triad or the major 7, just experiment, like use it in the song. If it sounds good, like just sit with that sound. If it sounds good to you and it starts to sound really nice and full, like use it, you know. Depending on the context of the music, you may omit the 7. It depends on the style. So hopefully that helps. It's just like a fun way to delve into 7th chords, learning about 7th chord harmony, extensions, chord extensions, all of that. So let me know in the comments if you want a more advanced tutorial on the specific voicings like you would use in the right hand. Oh, that's another cool detail, is like most extensions are placed in the right hand because you want to hear them above the chord. Like you would never put the chord extensions in the left hand just because it would be too low and muddy. Like it's just too much, right? So you place them above so that way you have space and everything is kind of stacked like this. It would be like left hand, major 7, right hand, extensions. So that was a little bit longer than I thought it was gonna be. But anyway, let me know how you interpret that, and if you like the sound of the major 7, if you don't like it. Extensions take time to get used to because they are more colorful, right? It's like if you're a painter that is only painted with the primary colors like red, blue, and yellow, then you won't be fully confident experimenting with, okay, I'm gonna mix like yellow and blue now to create a different shade of green, you know. That's a new territory, so it does take time for your ear to adjust. So when you do adjust though, and you do explore it and you sit with it and you let it, you kind of almost absorb it in a meditative state of way, then your ear starts to accept that sound, and not only accept it, but like crave it, because it is really pleasing. Like depending on the music, again, you won't put this in all your songs or any kind of music or any type of cover that you're playing music, what kind of music you're playing, but you will eventually start to see how it could be snuck in, or like you want to end the song a little bit more like spicy, you know, a little spicier. So let me know in the comments if that was helpful, and play around with it. Let the major 7 chord become a meditative chord, and you will eventually start to wrap your ear around that sound. So that's all for now. Have a beautiful day. See you next time.